Chapter 31 Don't Look Directly. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom. His mind split instantly into two distinct zones, a wave of dark purple energy surged, threatening to engulf a vibrant crimson volcano. Who are you? Where'd you get such terrifying chakra? How, do you know my name? The Four Tails felt an intense chill in the chakra. This feeling, he'd seen it before, on young Indra, the Uchiha clan's ancestor. The release power in this little punk is almost as pure as Indra's back then. That was directly from Old Man Six Paths' bloodline. How could this brat possibly? Uchiha Kagami landed squarely on the Four Tails' head, his spiritual energy solidifying into a massive Fuma shuriken. Humans don't see the tailed beasts as protectors, but as natural disasters to be feared, dreaded, and sealed away. Kagami knew the truth, but he wouldn't try to befriend them like Naruto. He knew he was exactly the kind of person the tailed beasts hated most. He didn't want partnership. He just wanted their power. The Fuma shuriken spun at breakneck speed, its cutting power immense, and slashed at the Four Tails' neck. You little bastard. Don't underestimate me. Lava style, Mount Fruit Flower, that the Four Tails thrashed against its chains, unleashing scorching heat that created a sea of lava. Boom. The lava erupted, barely holding back the giant wind-release shuriken, but the stalemate wouldn't last. Kagami's Sharingan power intensified until the shuriken grew to hundreds of meters in size. Boom. The Four Tails' body slammed into the ground, the Fuma shuriken grinding down like a blade through stone. Natural enemy, Sukuna, fueled by cursed energy, couldn't break the seal completely. He watched Kagami's actions. The Sharingan's basic functions are similar to the Six Eyes, giving Sukuna some reference points, but even Gojo Satoru, with the Six Eyes, would struggle with this monster. Comparing the energy he'd sensed, this thing was way more powerful than a disaster spirit of similar caliber. Unlike the Six Eyes, which only appears once in a generation, this kid's got a whole tribe of those eyes. Could this be a clan of legendary gods? A clan specially designed to suppress evil spirits and monstrous beasts? Was I sent here because an ancestor of this clan sealed me inside this brat? Sukuna never stopped plotting his escape, analyzing Kagami's abilities. He got one thing wrong. Normally, the Uchiha's three Tomo Sharingan are useless against tailed beasts. Even the Mangekyo Sharingan might work on ordinary ones, but it's not enough to control the Nine Tails. Obito's brief control of the Nine Tails was likely a legacy of Madara's power. With any power, the user is what matters. The Nine Tails itself had already given the reason why Kagami could suppress the tailed beasts. I-Power. I-Power is a type of chakra, but focuses on spiritual energy. The Mangekyo is essentially the evolution formed when spiritual energy hits a critical mass. Kagami's I-Power already surpassed that point and could evolve into the Mangekyo at any moment, but he hadn't solved the drawbacks of the Mangekyo yet. Overuse could lead to blindness. Why can't the Mangekyo's power be restored? Because the Uchiha bodies are too weak for the Mangekyo Sharingan. Indra, the Sage of Six Paths' eldest son, had no such problems, but his descendants didn't have the bodies to handle the Sage's eyes. Even Uchiha Madara couldn't bear the Rinnegan as he aged. To keep the Rinnegan from withering, and to keep himself from being drained by it, he chose Nagato, an Uzumaki descendant, as a vessel for the eye. Kagami figured he needed at least another year to build up his body's resilience to the Mangekyo. The best thing would be to grab a white Zetsu ASAP, hijack Madara's research, and get Hashirama's cells. Hashirama's cells wouldn't give him the Rinnegan, that was reserved for the Sage's sons, and Obito already proved that. But they would definitely lessen the Mangekyo Sharingan side effects. Otherwise, with how often Obito used his Mangekyo Jutsu, Kamui couldn't possibly compensate for the power drain, and he would have gone blind ages ago. If a life-or-death situation arose, he could still weigh the consequences, death versus temporary damage. Basically, he was holding back, hoping for a bigger, better power-up. Plus, he had a plan that might solve this problem entirely. Reversal technique. By manipulating the seals, he could convert cursed energy into positive energy, creating a healing effect. Converting it to chakra would mean turning yin release chakra into yang release. The idea was sound, but way harder than just reversing cursed energy. The Four Tails yelped and cursed miserably as the Fuma shuriken tore into him. It was no use. if he wasn't sealed, he could fight Kagami. But now, like two people, one with a whip, one tied up. Not a fair fight. Kagami siphoned off the Four-Tails' endless chakra, causing flames to erupt around his own body. The tailed beasts are chakra made real. The Four-Tails visibly shrunk as Kagami absorbed its energy. Kagami clearly felt the difference between tailed beast chakra and normal ninja chakra, both in quality and quantity. Especially the Four-Tails' understanding of lava release. Just that brief contact gave him the spark to develop his own lava release techniques. Suddenly, a loud shout echoed through the spiritual space. Release! Kagami felt a pressure building, threatening to eject him from the space. He glanced one last time at the shriveled Four-Tails and said flatly. The red-haired gorilla should stop pretending to be the Monkey King. Goodbye, Four-Tails. Pretending. The Sage of Six Paths gave me that name. Why are you being so mean? Gah, illusions work by messing with the target's chakra flow, screwing up their senses. Perfect Jinchuuriki are immune because their tailed beasts help break the illusion. Conversely, if the tailed beast is the one being controlled, the Jinchuuriki can break the illusion. 2. Kagami's main goal was to get inside the Four-Tails prison. The illusion couldn't hold Lao Zi for long. A perfect Jinchuuriki means being buddies with the tailed beast. Lao Zi wasn't there yet, but his bloodline limit was the same as the Four-Tails, lava release, and he forcibly took the Four-Tails' power. Like when Naruto first beat the Nine-Tails and got his chakra, the slave just became the master. When he came to, he sensed something weird inside him. When in doubt, break the illusion first. Whoosh, a puff of green smoke appeared above the giant eagle. It was Kagami. He looked down at Lao Zi, who'd already entered his tailed beast transformation. Looks like the Four-Tails won't be getting his chakra back anytime soon. You just... Aburame Jue seemed to recognize something. The scene reminded him of a secret technique a senior had used. The art of spiritualization without physical weakness. Don't make it sound like I copied it, Jue. Kagami turned to him. You had a golden opportunity back there. Don't tell me you didn't try to swarm him with your parasites. Aburame Jue wore sunglasses and a mask, which hid her embarrassment perfectly. Sorry, it happened so fast. Actually, you were only gone for a few seconds. No need to explain. Clang, Kagami drew his sword and jumped down, charging straight at Lao Zi. I'll handle the Jinchuuriki. You just stay up there and watch. As a clueless spectator. You can't look directly at the Sharingan. After what just happened, Lao Zi wouldn't dare underestimate this Uchiha kid. Reluctantly, he lowered his head to avoid Kagami's gaze, like he was waiting to be slaughtered. Chapter 32 Uchiha, Jinchuuriki. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Fire style, Dragon Flame Jutsu. Lava style, Scorching Rock Technique, boom, star, the dragon flame collided with the lava ball, unleashing a scorching heat wave. Kid, your fire's nothing special. My lava style can burn fire itself, that even without the tailed beast chakra for now, Old Man Z's still one seriously powerful ninja. Whoosh, Old Man Z's eyes were glued to the explosion when an invisible slash came from the side, catching him from behind. The slash was unseen, but Old Man Z's danger sense tingled, barely letting him dodge a fatal hit. *SVH, star. *bang, star. Dozens of huge trees crashed down. Old Man Z spun around, facing the crimson Sharingan and a gleaming blade. Without the Four-Tails chakra, Old Man Z couldn't maintain his lava-style chakra mode with his own strength. If he had his lava-style chakra mode active, this kid would be asking for a beatdown getting this close. Clang! Sodi no Shirayuki struck Old Man Z's steel wrist guard, sending sparks flying. *bang, star. Old Man Z pivoted and threw a punch at Uchiha Jing's chest with his free hand, his fist wreathed in burning magma. Uchiha Jing's face was a mask of calm, a chilling light flashing in his eyes. He subtly shifted his torso, easily evading Old Man Z's fist, and followed with a lightning-fast kick. Old Man Z raised his arms to block. The powerful impact forced him back a step, but he quickly regained his footing and launched another attack. You're just too green, kid. His fist came down on Uchiha Jing like a meteor, radiating intense heat. Uchiha Jing wasn't about to be drawn into a fistfight. He weaved through the barrage like a ghost, searching for an opening to strike back. No one can keep attacking forever. Finally, Uchiha Jing saw his chance. Using the reflection of Sodi no Shirayuki, he locked eyes with Old Man Z. Mirror Days. A surge of powerful eye energy erupted, instantly forming a black tomo pattern in Old Man Z's eyes. Uchiha Jing swung Sodi no Shirayuki at Old Man Z's neck without a second thought. Bang! Caught completely off guard, Uchiha Jing was sent flying by Old Man Z's kick. Since there was no time to channel his lava release, the kick wasn't especially damaging, but, looking into Old Man Z's eyes, Uchiha Jing smirked. Looks like you and that gorilla have come to an understanding, huh? Old Man Z stared back with a conflicted expression. Only if I can take you down. Then the Four Tails is willing to help me break this genjutsu. Just what exactly did you do to him? The Four Tails, who's never paid me any attention except to curse me out when he steals my chakra, is actually willing to help me. Old Man Z felt that if he could kill Uchiha Jing, he might be able to force the Four Tails into complete submission. Being stubborn, he doesn't expect to reconcile with the four-tailed fox, and he doesn't acknowledge him. Gurgle. Gurgle, Old Man Z's pupils shrank. That sound, that feeling, he knew it all too well. Uchiha Jing glanced down and saw a cloak of red chakra engulfing his body. A massive chakra tail materialized behind him. How is this possible? You're the Nine-Tails Jinchuuriki. Old Man Z was in total shock. Everyone knows Konoha only has one-tailed beast, the Nine-Tails. Even if they aren't clear about the bad blood between Konoha's high-ups and the Uchiha clan, the ninja world is aware of the century-long conflict between Hashirama Senju and Uchiha Madara. Is the third Hokage insane? He actually let an Uchiha become the Nine-Tails Jinchuuriki. Does he want another Uchiha Madara to rise again? The second and third generations of the Iwagakure village were all beaten up by Uchiha Madara, and they hated him extremely. Also, extremely scared. Even Jue and Xuanhua on the giant eagle were stunned. Kushina being the Nine-Tails Jinchuuriki is classified top secret. If Minato wasn't close to her and Jiraiya's student, he wouldn't have known. Now, Old Man Z has exposed Uchiha Jing's tailed beast cloak. This guy is definitely going to be corrupted by the Nine-Tails. Konoha's finished. Aburame Shirway's thoughts, not only does he have the Uchiha's top talent, but he also has the Nine-Tails. Uchiha are good enough. Xuanhua's idea. Moron. This is my chakra. Can't you even tell the difference? The Four Tails, regaining some strength, roared from inside Old Man Z's mind. Who can tell the difference? A chakra cloak with a tail, they all look the same. Old Man Z didn't have time to reply. Uchiha Jing's speed had increased exponentially, leaving only a blur in his wake. Boom. A crushing punch landed on Old Man Z's chest. The brutal force, combined with the searing heat of the tailed beast chakra, charred his clothes and left the imprint of a fist on his skin. Before he could be thrown by the force of the punch, the chakra tail behind Uchiha Jing whipped around, snared his ankles, and slammed him into the ground. Real fights are about landing combos to drain the health bar. You don't want to chat after fighting? Somewhere along the line, Uchiha Jing had sheathed Sodi no Shirayuki. This current state was perfect for punches and kicks. Not everyone in the ninja world is as resilient as Orochimaru. Without the protection of tailed beast chakra, Old Man Z's body simply couldn't withstand this kind of beating. His injuries mounted, and his consciousness began to fade. Hey! You bastard! Idiot! Kill him for me. The four-tailed monkey's shouts were in vain. He was pinned down by chains and couldn't even stand up. Should we, offer some help? Jue gulped, feeling a little guilty, because Uchiha Kagami looked like he was in his teens. Old Man Z didn't think it was too much of an exaggeration to have 3 Magatama at this age, but they knew very well. The guy fighting the Jinchuuriki below. No, wait, the guy suppressing the Jinchuuriki was only 8 years old. Xuanhua was lost in a fantasy about Uchiha Kagami taking control of the Nine-Tails and sweeping across Konoha, establishing the Uchiha clan's dominance once and for all. He wasn't even listening to Jue Hui. Just then, Jue Hui caught a glimpse of a small black dot in the distance. He didn't think much of it at first, but after a few seconds, the black dot started to take the shape of a person. No way. Shuei's voice trembled, more terrified than if he were facing a Jinchuuriki. He leaned halfway over the giant eagle and yelled. Kagami! Retreat! It's Onoki. The third Tsuchikage Onoki's here. Onoki, nearing 60, was one of the few ninjas still alive who had experienced the Warring States period. He was the Tsuchikage who had held the highest power in the land of Earth for the longest time, and he ushered in the heyday of the Iwagakure village, bloodline elimination that transcends the bloodline limit, an absolute powerhouse who had fought in countless battles and was known as Two Scales Onoki. What was the third Tsuchikage doing here? Minato had the same question, whoosh, star, Uchiha Kagami held Minato's flying thunder god kunai. Sensing the enormous chakra signature that had suddenly appeared on the battlefield, he decisively led his team to break away from the forces fighting the Five Tails and regroup. Kagami, you. Minato was also stunned at the sight of Uchiha Kagami covered in tailed beast chakra. No time to explain. Uchiha Jin grabbed the unconscious old man Z, hesitated for a moment, but decided against killing him. A living Jinchuuriki was worth more than a dead one. High above, a little old man floated with his arms folded. The tiny figure cast a heavy feeling across the battlefield. The giant eagle also sensed the intense pressure and flew closer to Uchiha Jin, seeking safety in numbers. As he approached, Uchiha Kagami immediately released the summoning technique and looked up at Onoki with a serious expression. The Jinchuuriki was one thing, but the third Tsuchikage shouldn't be here. Normally, he would be guarding Iwagakure from possible raids from Kumogakure. Someone had leaked the intel. It has to be Danzo. Uchiha Jin wasn't one to rely on luck. If something didn't add up, someone was targeting him. The ninja world was small, and the number of players even smaller. 8 times out of 10, you can blame Danzo. Take the remaining 2 items on Black Zetsu on your own initiative. With my current chakra levels, I can only teleport 5 people max. The number of people the Flying Thunder God technique can teleport depends on both the user's chakra and the amount of chakra the target has. If people could be teleported at will, the second Hokage wouldn't have died covering their retreat. Even Minato didn't dare to dream of fighting the third Tsuchikage, and they hadn't even defeated the Five Tails. Now, the Iwagakure forces were closing in fast. So, there really is a seriously strong Uchiha kid. And old man Z, that stubborn old coot, actually got beat. Onoki muttered to himself, observing Uchiha Kagami from above. He spotted the tailed beast chakra cloak around the boy and his almost entirely white eyebrows began to tremble, letting an Uchiha become a Jinchuuriki. What on earth is that guy Sarutobi Hiruzen playing at? Chapter 33 Black Flash vs. Dust Escape. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Uchiha brat, set old Z down. I'm giving you a chance to leave. Onoki's voice dropped a notch. Uchiha Jin smirked, squeezing Lao Z's arm a little tighter. Onoki, your dust release is legendary. The second I let the Four Tails Jinchuuriki go, you'll blast me with it, guaranteed. Don't even try to sell me on your trustworthiness. I'm not buying it. Onoki frowned. Kid, didn't Sarutobi Hiruzen teach you any manners? Even Iwagakure ninja show respect when addressing the Hokage. Uchiha Jin didn't budge. Names are just for calling people. Honorifics are meaningless. If me groveling and begging would make you give up the Four Tails and let us walk, I'd drop to my knees right now. Ha, Onoki scoffed. Your first generation was the one who crawled to us, begging us to take the tailed beasts in the first place. The Konoha ninja present bristled at that. Uchiha Kagami grinned. Really? How long did you and the second Tsuchikage spend on your knees after Madara Uchiha wiped the floor with you? Onoki's eyes narrowed, his expression darkening. Losing to Uchiha Madara is nothing to be ashamed of. The reason doesn't matter anymore. Just a punk. Onoki held out his hands, a pure white cube beginning to form between his palms. At least old Z will have you, the Nine Tails Jinchuuriki, to keep him company in the afterlife. Iwagakure deserves some compensation. right? Anoki, get this straight. Uchiha Kagami's lack of respect for Anoki was calculated, a basic tenet of negotiation. Talks only work when both sides are on equal footing. If you dare use Dust Release, I'll have Minato use Flying Thunder God to whisk me and the Four Tails back to Konoha. A measly Four Tails isn't worthy of dying with me. Minato shot Uchiha Kagami a quick glance, then stepped forward, placing a hand on his shoulder, his actions speaking volumes. He wasn't about to abandon his comrade, but he couldn't reveal his intentions just yet. Anoki kept his hands posed for Dust Release, but didn't unleash it. Dust Release was powerful, arguably the deadliest attack in the ninja world, but it still had to hit. He knew Flying Thunder God. He'd fought Senju Tobarama enough times to know he couldn't touch him. Little brat, what do you want? Just then, the Five Tails Jinchuuriki and others arrived, eyes glued to Anoki, waiting for his command. Just swear in front of these Iwagakure ninja that you won't invade the Land of Fire's border for 6 months, and I'll hand the Four Tails back. Good deal, right? Anoki was so furious he started to chuckle. You've got it twisted. Lao Zi is your hostage. I should be offering safe passage for you. You really think I'm bluffing about Dust Release? How many people can that Flying Thunder God take with him? I'm not confused. Uchiha Jing spoke slowly, calmly. We haven't crossed any borders. We're here to guard the Land of Fire. Don't try to sweeten your words, Anoki. You came to test Konoha, looking for a chance to invade. So. Uchiha Jing clenched his fist and shouted. My comrades may die. But if they do, it won't be because of my choice. It'll be to protect the Land of Fire and Konoha. They'll die at the hands of an invader like you. The Konoha ninja present were shocked, the will of fire blazing within them. Even Fugaku's blood was pumping. Damn right. You invading scum. We'll die before we let you set foot in the Fire Nation. Yeah. So what if we die? You're just at Tsuchikage. You think we Konoha ninja are scared of you? Death's nothing. Lord Jing will avenge us. Xianhua roared, Anoki, you'll face the wrath of the Uchiha clan. We're planning to invade the Land of Fire. But. This looks to be the land of grass. Have you ever considered the feelings of the Kusanagi when doing this? Anoki swallowed his rage. Smart-mouthed brat. Dust Release, atomic dismantling jutsu. A massive beam of white light slammed down, threatening to obliterate everything. Anoki wasn't going to be held back by Lao Zi, or fall for Kagami and Minato's tricks. There was no way Minato could teleport the Four Tails and the Nine Tails Jinchuuriki. Die, all of you, in the face of Dust Release, all lives are equal. Aside from others with the same bloodline, no one has ever survived Dust Release. Not even Uchiha Madara. Little punk. You don't even begin to frighten me. Under the crushing power of Dust Release, no one could even think about resisting. Minato started to use Flying Thunder God to get as many people out of there as possible, but Uchiha Kagami shoved him aside. Uchiha Jing, dropping Lao Zi to the ground, grinned. That smile, at this suffocating moment, felt bizarre, almost horrifying. Tailed beast chakra erupted, searing his skin. He shifted from the tailed beast cloak to a half-tailed beast form, his human features fading away. 4 enormous tails lashed out behind him, the force of their movement blasting Minato and the others away. It burns. The tailed beast chakra is tearing me up. Everything is so hot, it feels like it's burning all the air. But. This feeling of unstoppable power is intoxicating. All the desires in the world boil down to this, the hunger for power. With power, you can get anything. He clenched his fists, black and red lightning crackling around him, turning the scattered rocks into dust. The gap between those who have felt black flash and those who haven't is immense. Sukuna, inside the seal, watched with a grim smile, his arms crossed. Your black flash is nothing like the black flash from my world. Can your body handle such violent power, Star? Don't worry, if you die, I'll avenge you. Asterisk I'll kill every ninja in this world. Star. Asterisk ha 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 ha. Star. Out in the real world, Uchiha Kagami was unaffected, asterisk focus, star. Asterisk reached the peak, asterisk. Black flash. A black and red electric dragon erupted from the earth, colliding with the unstoppable dust release beam. The roar nearly shattered everyone's eardrums, the ground split open, space warped, the explosion spawned a hurricane that ripped everything apart. You little punk. Die. Inoki roared, pouring in more chakra, as the energy surged, the light intensified, illuminating the entire battlefield. In an instant, the shockwave rippled outwards, the earth trembling, the very sky changing color. Blinding light and terrifying power intertwined, threatening to tear the world asunder. You're a relic of the past, so stop showing up and embarrassing yourself. Asterisk roar. Star. Black lightning shattered space, surging higher and higher. Crack. Inoki, straining too much, heard a sharp sound from his waist and instantly knew something was wrong. Asterisk damn it, Star. In that moment of weakness, the black and red lightning surged forward, crushing the light column with overwhelming force. Chapter 34 Minato's Choice. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom. Lightning ripped through the sky, exploding in a shower of sparks. Inoki, barely dodging the blast, clutched his lower back, beads of cold sweat trickling down his face. Great, my back's acting up now of all times, but what kind of technique can actually stand up to dust release? I've used dust release to vaporize tailed beast balls countless times. This definitely isn't tailed beast chakra. If you want to go head-to-head with dust release, besides more dust release, maybe the only other option is spacetime ninjutsu, and I did feel space warping. You little punk. All you're doing is making me want to eliminate you even more. Inoki began to condense another dust release cube, fighting against the raging tailed beast chakra. Kagami Uchiha spoke in a strained voice. Inoki, 4 tails is all I can handle right now. If you push me again, I'll just unleash the 9 tails. And we're pretty close to the land of Earth. Before I lose it completely, I still have a way to send the 9 tails barreling towards your country. You really want to test the power of the 9-tailed fox? Underneath the crimson chakra cloak, Kagami's right hand was already covered in blood. The only two who knew the truth were the unconscious Rashi and Minato Namikaze. So, you think I'm the 9 tails Jinchuuriki? Perfect. Inoki was silent, his mind racing, weighing the pros and cons. Thinking too hard. Kagami roared, and even more tailed beast chakra surged out, threatening to form a 5th tail. Wait a minute. Inoki dispelled the dust release jutsu and shouted, in the name of the Tsuchikage, I swear Iwagakure will not invade the land of fire for 6 months. Just give Rashi back to me. The violent chakra slowly subsided, still maintaining the 4-tailed form. I want Rashi back in a week. No way. What if you extract the 4 tails? Don't try to trick me. Now, you leave. Inoki gritted his teeth. I am the Tsuchikage, after all. How can I break a promise made in front of my village? The chakra tail curled around Rashi. We'll retreat to the border and have someone bring him. I guarantee he'll be alive. That's my final offer. Take it or leave it. As he spoke, the ferocious tailed beast chakra flared up again. Deal. Inoki took a deep breath and stared intently at Kagami. Kid, what's your name? Kagami Uchiha. Right. Kagami Uchiha, I hope we meet again. You won this round. Inoki slowly descended to the Iwagakure formation, gave one last meaningful look to the Konoha shinobi, then ordered a full retreat. After they had put some distance between themselves and Konoha, a young man with a nose as prominent as Inoki's approached. Father, even if it was the 9 tails, you could handle it, right? People in the ninja world didn't really understand the sheer power of the 9 tails. They knew it was strong, but generally assumed one person could handle maybe 2 tails at most. Inoki had a proven record of defeating both the 4 tails and the 5 tails working together. Suspended in the air, Inoki glanced sideways at Kuratsuchi and said coldly, You want to be the Tsuchikage? Think I've been around long enough? do you? No, no, no. Kuratsuchi waved his hands frantically. After a moment of silence, Anoki spoke softly. I'm not sure I could take on the Kyuubi, nor do I need to. When you get back, spread the word about Kagami Uchiha, and also let everyone know that Rashi was defeated. Huh? But... Anoki narrowed his eyes, a strange smile playing at the corner of his mouth. Do you know who he reminds me of? Kuratsuchi hesitated. He certainly knew the most painful memory in his father's life. Is it Madara Uchiha? Yes. He's nowhere near the Madara Uchiha I faced, but he's still young. A guy like that. The person who should be most terrified of another Madara Uchiha appearing isn't me. It's Konoha. That if Konoha was united and the Uchiha and the village elders were working together, Anoki would have to kill these people even if it meant risking his life, but the only reason he had appeared here was because of intel from Konoha. But Tsuchikage needs more than just strength, he needs eyes that can see the truth of things, unfortunately. Kuratsuchi is too dense and just not the right material. Anoki really envies Konoha, a place with so much talent, the White Fang, the Sannin, and now Minato Namikaze, Kagami Uchiha. It seems like a new generation of geniuses pops up every few years. There are pros and cons to everything. At least, there aren't any high-ranking officials in Iwagakure who would actively sell out information about their allies. The White Fang was forced out of Konoha, and the Uchiha won't have such a clean ending. Anoki was willing to be patient and see if the simmering conflict between the village and the Uchiha would finally explode. So, Father, are you going to recall our troops stationed near the border with the Land of Fire? Wap. Kuratsuchi was smacked on the head, and Anoki shouted in disappointment, are you an idiot? Do you really think I'm going to stick to some verbal agreement? That an alliance treaty is just a piece of garbage when it suits them, let alone a casual promise. As soon as we get Rashi back, we'll station troops in the grass country and be ready to jump into the war at any moment. Suddenly, a black falcon appeared in the sky, flying towards Anoki and his men. A message falcon? That's the highest priority communication. Something must have happened back at Iwagakure. After reading the message, Anoki's face turned red. Damn it! Morons! That black gorilla AI! How dare he! The Third Reikage is leading his forces to invade the land of Earth. The vanguard is already approaching the Hidden Rock village. Return immediately. How can that be? I've only been gone for 2 days. How could AI take advantage of the timing? Danzo! That bastard must have leaked the information to the Hidden Cloud village. Kuratsuchi. You stay here and help Rashi. The rest of you, follow me back to the village at full speed. Damn it, I went out for a stroll in the country, and my house is about to get robbed. The border of the Land of Fire, a female medical ninja, her palm glowing green, pressed against Kagami's back. There wasn't a single patch of healthy skin left on his body. It was corroded by the tailed beast chakra and looked absolutely gruesome. The superficial wounds aren't too bad, but the bones in my right hand are messed up. It'll take a while to heal. Be careful not to get water on the wound. It's so painful, must have been fire style. You really went all out. After bandaging Kagami, the medical ninja gave him instructions on the dosage and walked out of the tent. Kagami, how are you feeling? Minato opened the tent flap and came in, his eyes filled with concern. Kagami's voice, muffled by the bandages, sounded a little strange. I'm fine. Where's Rashi? On his way back to Iwagakure, Minato sighed. If it hadn't been for the Sand Village incident, we could have used this opportunity to take out the Four Tails for good. It'll take at least 10 years for Iwagakure to train a new Jinchuuriki. Konoha could take on either sand or rock alone, or even both at the same time, without too much trouble, but, if the other villages saw this, they'd definitely jump in, making it a 4-on-1 situation. The village sent orders saying the war in the Wind Country is at a standstill, and they want me to go provide support. Whose orders? Kagami asked flatly. Orders from Danzo-sama. After a moment of silence, Minato's eyes turned cold. You noticed it too, haven't you, Kagami? Kagami chuckled. He's targeting me. He'll get you out of the way, then come after me. The third Tsuchikage showing up here was probably his doing, too. Kagami Uchiha looked at Minato calmly. Jiraiya-sensei always told me that I should integrate into the village and truly become a part of Konoha. But, Minato, there are people in Konoha who don't want the Uchiha to exist. Sitting around and waiting to die isn't my style. If I get the chance, I'm going to kill Danzo Shimura. He's a close friend of the third Hokage. Minato Namikaze wasn't worried about Danzo Shimura's position of power. What troubled him was the complex relationship. Strictly speaking, they should call Danzo their granduncle. Kagami said nothing, waiting for Minato to make his decision. If Minato chooses to side with the third Hokage, he wouldn't show any mercy in the future. The lights in the tent flickered silently. After a long pause, Minato let out a breath and smiled warmly. I'm not going anywhere until you're better. I'll protect you, Kagami. Chapter 35 Sukuna, you #039, re too noisy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hey, before I forget, how exactly did you pull off that tailed beast transformation? Others might be in the dark, but Minato knew the deal. His girlfriend, the Nine-Tails Jinchuuriki, somehow became his underclassman. I absorbed the Four Tails chakra. Wait, is that even possible? Minato frowned. Did you actually take the Four Tails? Nah, Uchiha Jing replied, shaking his head. Imprisoning a tailed beast inside yourself is a huge pain. You know that better than anyone. The right way to handle tailed beasts. That was Sasuke's method. In his opinion, lock them up and use Susanoo as a container for their chakra. If she were to learn from Naruto, the whisker marks on his daughter's face speak for themselves. Plus, he had a wild monster inside him already. The last thing he needed was to stuff something else in there and risk the seal breaking. Minato sighed, a wave of unease washing over him as he thought of Kushina trapped behind that barrier. Kagami. I want to be Hokage. I want Kushina to have a normal life. She's under so much pressure. What am I supposed to do? Minato and Kagami had both seen the Nine-Tails firsthand. That disaster-level monster living inside Kushina was like a ticking time bomb. Uchiha Jing paused, then asked, what's your take on the first Hokage distributing the tailed beasts? Minato considered the question for a long moment. At the time, it was the right call. The first Hokage craved peace, and ninjas weren't meant to rule the world. Using the tailed beasts as a deterrent to maintain balance was a logical move. And it worked. During his lifetime, the ninja world enjoyed the longest stretch of peace it had seen in 1,000 years. Uchiha Jing chuckled. But he didn't factor in that the real deterrent wasn't the tailed beasts themselves, but him. Maybe he did consider that, but humans, we're all gonna die eventually. The tailed beasts, on the other hand, stick around. Minato sighed, glancing at Kagami. Why are you bringing all this up? Minato, if you were in charge, how would you handle the tailed beasts? They're a necessary strategic deterrent. Once they're contained, unless another Shodan-level figure shows up, we have to maintain the status quo. Take the Nine-Tails, for example. Releasing it would only bring endless destruction to the Leaf Village. Thinking about it, Minato's expression turned somber. This war, it really never ends, does it? Of course not. Land, wealth, power, culture, faith. If the Leaf Village can't stop fighting, how can we expect the world to ever be at peace? The first Hokage was right about one thing: you need a strong enough deterrent to make the ninja villages think twice about going to war. But relying on the tailed beasts alone isn't enough. Minato looked at Uchiha Kagami, understanding dawning in his eyes. He realized that his decision to stay had finally made this distant underclassman open up and share his true vision, the intense eyes visible between the bandages locked onto Minato Namikaze. Individual lives are fleeting, and the tailed beasts aren't powerful enough. A clan. Inheritance. There's no better choice to serve as the world's restraining force than the Uchiha clan. I will become the strongest in the world. The Uchiha clan will evolve from Konoha's security force into a clan that polices the entire ninja world. I know full well that the Uchiha aren't suited for politics. Will only serve as a deterrent to war. And the cornerstone of all this is an absolutely powerful Uchiha, a legacy that continues uninterrupted. As Uchiha Kagami spoke, Minato felt a weight pressing down on his chest. It was hard to breathe. I'm going to die. Before I do, I'll pass down all the Sharingan power I've accumulated over my lifetime to the next generation through a transcription seal. Only the Uchiha clan has the potential. Only the Uchiha clan can bear the world's malice. Kagami, people's ideals can change. Even if you avoid ruling, how can your successor resist the temptation of being the king of the world? Besides, it's too painful to shoulder the world's malice alone. Uchiha Kagami chuckled. Minato, you dream of being Hokage. Have you ever thought about what you'll do after you become Hokage? Well, I guess that's something to figure out after the dream comes true. I see. Uchiha Jing turned his gaze, looking out into the distance through the tense window. This is my dream. Whether there's a qualified successor is something I'll worry about later. Besides, maybe I won't die. Everyone dies eventually. Minato laughed, thinking Uchiha Kagami was joking. Yeah, Otsutsuki is immortal. Minato stood up and said, thanks for sharing all that with me. You should get some sleep. He walked to the door, then turned back and smiled. I'm with you. I look forward to you cutting through all the hatred and conflict in this world. Hey kid, that blondie seems to have a special place in your heart. He's a good guy, and incredibly talented. Uchiha Jing responded calmly, there aren't enough good people in this world. Even the bad ones like to be friends with them. After all, he's not like you, always thinking about offing me. That's harsh, kid. Sukuna's voice was raspy and muffled. I don't want to kill you. I want to eat you. Every drop of blood, every scrap of flesh, every bit of bone marrow. I want to savor it all. You're in pain, Sukuna. There was sarcasm in Uchiha Jing's tone. You see humans as food, yet you're trapped inside one. You were human once, but you chose to become a curse. You simply don't understand the extent of human malice. Sukuna, standing on a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood, suddenly felt a powerful suction force. What are you trying to do? The battles with Mu and Inoki had taught Uchiha Kagami how to use tailed beast chakra, and he had also learned how to plunder power. Roar in the spiritual space, a blade wreathed in flames suddenly appeared. Sukuna fought with all his might against the seal's pull, but it was no use. He was being dragged towards the edge of the seal barrier. One of his arms was pulled through the barrier. Realizing what Uchiha Kagami was attempting, Sukuna erupted in mad laughter. Ha 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 ha. Can't resist the urge to take my power, can you? Take it. Take it all, that the more the merrier. Whoosh, that the flaming blade fell, severing Sukuna's arm. Thick, black blood oozed from the wound. Uchiha Kagami hovered in front of the seal, ignoring Sukuna. The severed arm twitched a few times outside the seal, then lunged towards Uchiha Kagami at breakneck speed. Boom, the tremendous power of the Sharingan crushed the arm. Slow and steady is my motto. Don't worry, Sukuna. I'll savor you bit by bit. A smile played on Uchiha Jing's lips as a curtain fell over the vermilion seal gate. As the scene before him plunged into darkness, Sukuna started to panic. He had been sealed for 1,000 years, but back then, he had been unconscious. To be consciously plunged into darkness, unable to sense the passage of time, unable to see anything, unable to receive any information from the outside world. A normal person would suffer severe psychological trauma within just a few hours. What terrified Sukuna even more was that Uchiha Kagami had started by cutting off one of his arms. Before, even when he was locked away in the darkness, Uchiha Jing would absorb his power every few days at most, which meant that he would naturally be able to see the outside world. No, I don't want to. With my guidance, you could better control this power. You're too loud. Uchiha Jing's fingertip touched down, completely sealing off the space. Until I'm done using this arm, Sukuna, you'd better stay in the dark. I hope you learn how to address your master by the time we meet again." The suffocating darkness was filled only with Sukuna's furious roar. Chapter 36, Red Eyes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The intel from the Iwagakure front also reached Orochimaru. He studied the reports, deep in thought. Kushina's the Ninetales Jinchuuriki, right? Even if Hiruzen's losing it, there's no way he'd let an Uchiha become a Jinchuuriki. Something's up that I'm missing, but he defeated the Four-Tails Jinchuuriki and went up against Dust Release. He strong-armed Inoki into a 6-month non-aggression pact. This kid's improving way too fast. There's another piece of intel. Danzo ordered Minato Namikaze to the Land of Wind battlefield, but he refused. Even with the Iwagakure front temporarily secure, Minato still wouldn't help Orochimaru. How low can you go? Heh. Orochimaru burned the Root's message and smirked. You're just a shadow lurking behind that old man. If you've chosen the shadows, don't even dream of center stage. After a moment, Orochimaru penned a letter himself and gave it to his psychic white snake. At the border of the Fire Nation, a few days of rest had allowed all bandages except the arm brace to be removed. The new skin was fair and delicate, making Uchiha Jing even more handsome. A small white snake appeared beside him, spitting out a scroll. Jing, I'm glad to see you're safe. I was saddened to hear of your injury, but with the war raging, I couldn't leave the front lines. I've authorized Minato Namikaze, as a jonin, to escort you back to the village to recover. I am honored to be your uncle, but I've never offered you any real support. Enclosed is a scroll of self-developed chakra activation techniques. Study them at your leisure. Uchiha Jing silently flipped through it. It contained some of Orochimaru's ideas about body modification. Using chakra to stimulate cell activity was essentially a self-healing technique. It was likely the precursor to his later regeneration ninjutsu. This technique was valuable, akin to Jiraiya's Secret Lion's main technique. The Orochimaru of this time hadn't yet joined Root as a third-generation spy, nor had he been corrupted by Danzo. His ideas weren't yet insane. His reasons for doing this might not be that complicated. He probably just wanted to become Hokage and gain powerful allies. When did Orochimaru completely fall from grace? The exact moment was unclear, but it was definitely after Minato Namikaze became the fourth Hokage. Maybe Orochimaru didn't really care about the Hokage title. He just wanted Sarutobi Hiruzen's recognition. In other words, I might not want it, but you can't not give it to me. Given Orochimaru's status and position, what kind of ninjas would he choose for his experiments? Why pick ordinary village ninjas? With his intelligence, would he really get caught so easily? Of course, that's not to say Orochimaru was a good guy forced into it, but this snake still cared for his teacher and showed restraint. Uchiha Kagami wouldn't define the people he met based solely on his memories of them. Like Namikaze Minato said, people change, except for Danzo Shimura. Of course, that guy's personality was set the day his second was killed in battle. Resentment and regret haunted him. He'd do anything to implement the second's ideas to prove himself. Right now, Shimura Danzo still thought Hiruzen might give him the Hokage seat. In a few years, he'd realize Sarutobi Hiruzen would never pick him. That's when he'd go crazy and team up with Orochimaru to continue his wood-release and Sharingan research. Uchiha Kagami would never let that creep get his hands on the power of the Sharingan. He had to find a way to send Danzo Shimura packing during this war. Maybe the Rain Country would make a good burial ground. Soon after, Minato Namikaze walked in with Kakashi. Hey, Jing, you're all banged up. That he glared at Kakashi and said coldly, think I couldn't take you down with one hand? Yes. Absolutely. Kakashi leaned in to inspect Uchiha Kagami's right arm. I heard you beat back that Tsuchikage himself. Way too strong, way too exaggerated. I used every trick I had, and paid a heavy price, to withstand his ninjutsu. And they're saying I drove that Tsuchikage off. Seeing Uchiha Kagami frown, Minato explained, that's the story Iwagakure's spreading. The new Uchiha genius not only defeated the Four-Tails Jinchuuriki, but also forced the third Tsuchikage to retreat and accept a rematch 6 months from now. You've even got a nickname now. Praise me to death, will you? Uchiha Kagami never took the 6-month agreement seriously. He'd planned on letting Yunin know Iwagakure was vulnerable, so they could swoop in and grab some loot. Looks like someone beat him to it. Raising an eyebrow, Uchiha Jing asked, intrigued. Oh. What nickname? Crimson-eyed killer. Kakashi made an exaggerated slashing gesture with both hands, his voice full of envy. What a cool title. Just like my dad's, that's an unlucky nickname. Rubbing his temples, Uchiha Jing looked at Minato. Why'd you bring Kakashi back? Minato patted Kakashi on the head and smiled. I gave it some thought. He shouldn't be on the battlefield at his age unless it's absolutely necessary. Huh, Kakashi was stunned. That wasn't what Minato had said earlier. He'd been on patrol when Minato picked him up, saying he had an important mission. Orochimaru sent me a message, asking me to take you back to the village to recover, and I figured I could bring Kakashi back with me. Kushina said there's a little girl in the ninja academy who keeps asking where Kakashi is. And some Uchiha kid was asking about you and Kakashi, too. Kakashi figured plenty of girls in the academy liked following him. Rin was probably the worst offender, and the Uchiha kid had to be Obito. I'm already a Chunin, Minato, don't you believe in me? Kakashi asked, a little annoyed. He felt like he wasn't being respected. Jing's already made a name for himself. I want one too. Thought it made sense for Jing to go back hurt, but he hadn't done anything yet. Why should he go back like that? Uchiha Kagami looked at Kakashi. His father wasn't dead, and Minato and Jiraiya's guidance had kept him from falling into darkness. He'd become an adult too soon, and his personality was dark, dull, lazy, and dishonest, and he loved reading Make Out Paradise, *tisk. If you knew the real history of the ninja world, you'd be on your knees thanking my ancestors for 8 generations, ***. Who do you think you are? You little white-haired devil, comparing yourself to me, Jing. What's with that look? Don't be silent, that's the look you give trash. Kakashi knew that look well. It was the same one he used to give Obito, karma's ab *******. Knock it off, Kakashi. Uchiha Jing flicked Kakashi lightly on the forehead. You've still got a long way to go. Go back to the village and play ninja games with the others. Jerk. What was that? Watching his 2 younger brothers laugh and bicker, Minato gave a motherly smile, one in each hand. Alright, just think of it as a temporary vacation. Get ready. Whoosh, Chapter 37 Love. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Konoha Village, Minato Namikaze, finally getting a day off, wasted no time finding Kushina. After dropping off Uchiha Kagami and Kakashi, he left a message that they'd be grabbing barbecue later and vanished. TCH, forgets his own buddy the second a pretty girl shows up, Kakashi grumbled. What about you? Why aren't you chasing after that little girlfriend of yours from the academy? Kakashi kicked a pebble down the road, saying coolly, I'm not into little girls. Oh really? Then who was it I saw sneaking peeks at Make Out Paradise during training breaks? I was appreciating Jiraiya-sensei's literary genius. It's practically training. Besides, it's all older women in there. His voice trailed off. Spare me the excuses. If I ever catch you peeping into the women's bathhouse with that old pervert, I'm calling the Uchiha military police on you. Uchiha Kagami started walking home, stating, Tell Minato I'm eating here tonight. Step. Then I'm coming to your place too. Kakashi followed shamelessly, ignoring Kagami's warning from the other day. Kagami figured that the effort of chasing Kakashi away was greater than just adding another plate at dinner, and sighed. Fine, but since it's my place, you're on grocery duty and you're cooking. Hey. I'm supposed to be a guest. Cooking's one thing, but grocery shopping too. Take it or leave it. Kakashi suddenly understood how Obito and Might Guy felt. When Kakashi walked into the house lugging 2 overflowing baskets of groceries, the first thing he saw was Shui balancing on the edge of the sink. Shui, practicing your water walking, Shui, who had been concentrating, lost his focus when he was interrupted and half his body fell into the sink. His face flushed, he glared at Kakashi, dead-eyed fish face. Don't bother me. Ah! Brother! You're home. Shui leaped from the sink and launched himself at Kagami like a bullet. Slap! Kagami gently grabbed Shui's face and frowned. Go take a shower and change into clean clothes. Okay. Watching Shui scamper off, Kakashi leaned in closer. You're a little hard on him, aren't you? Even I didn't start water walking until I was 4. He's only 2 or 3, right? Besides. Dead-eyed fish face. Where did he even pick up that nickname? You're 3.5, and you can't even water walk properly. Kagami regarded Kakashi with disdain. You're just as hopeless. Kakashi wanted to say, I've been called a genius since I was a kid, but, facing Kagami, he couldn't bring himself to say it. Seeing Kagami return, his grandmother looked happy, but didn't stand up. Kakashi could tell that the old woman looked more frail than she had a year ago. Kagami quietly walked to the old woman and gently placed his hand on her ankle. Her muscles had begun to atrophy, and he could feel the bones through the thin skin. It's already this bad, why didn't you tell me? That his grandmother gently stroked Kagami's hair and smiled kindly. It's okay. Shui already knows how to take care of me. Kagami looked down silently, not saying a word. He knew how to heal her body. If his methods didn't work, he could even ask Tsunade or Orochimaru for help, but while physical wounds could be healed, spiritual wounds were another matter. Should he use some trick to erase his grandmother's longing for those who were gone? Kagami couldn't do such a cruel thing. He could feel that as he grew older, his grandmother's desire to live was fading. Born into the Uchiha clan, she had been on the battlefield when she was young, surviving by the skin of her teeth, witnessing the founding of Konoha, and marrying the person she loved, but soon after, her beloved husband died in battle. Then, Shui's parents also died. The ninja world had never been kind to the Uchiha clan. Without any grand declarations, Kagami gently removed his grandmother's hand and whispered. Grandma, I will take care of myself and Shui. If someday, you feel like chasing after the people you loved, you can go. Good. Grandma believes you. Kushina. Minato, down on the street, shouted holding a fiery red bouquet that matched Kushina's hair color. Crash. The window shattered because he pushed it open too hard. The girl jumped directly from the window regardless of the height of more than 10 meters. Catch me, Minato. Hokage's office. Sarutobi Hiruzen reviewed the report sent back by Orochimaru and Sarutobi Shinosuke, taking a long drag on his pipe, overpowering the Four Tails and forcing back the Tsuchikage, the Uchiha Ninetales Jinchuuriki. Of course, he didn't believe the news from Iwagakure. The Ninetales was still safe and sound in Kushina's belly, according to the information that Sarutobi Shinosuke had gathered from his spies and others, as well as Minato's explanation. Kagami had mastered a secret technique similar to a high-level spiritual transformation. Using this technique, Kagami had successfully captured some of the Four Tails chakra and outsmarted Inoki. That old fox, Inoki, was clearly panicking because of the rakeage, but still insisted on honoring the 6-month agreement and wouldn't move south. He chuckled, we've all been playing politics for decades. Why the charade? Still, this ability of Kagami made Hiruzen uneasy. If he could capture the Four Tails, could he also capture the Ninetales? The Ninetales and the Uchiha made it too easy for him to jump to conclusions. He had witnessed that earth-shattering battle firsthand. It was possible that another Madara would appear among the Uchiha, but was it possible that another Hashirama would appear among the Senju? Hiruzen knew very well that that level of power was simply unattainable for an ordinary ninja. Only blood could achieve that. The thought of eliminating Kagami as soon as possible flashed through his mind. Hiruzen secretly shook his head, dismissing the idea. If Kagami were to die now, the Uchiha clan would definitely riot. Even those Uchiha who originally sided with him would not accept it. Hiruzen hesitated and picked up Minato's letter again. It ended with, Kagami possesses the true will of fire and will bring peace to the ninja world. I've begun to believe that he might be the child of prophecy that Jiraiya-sensei was looking for. He's leading a revolution in the ninja world. That when Jiraiya was young, the great Toad Sage predicted that his disciple would become the savior. Therefore, Hiruzen had allowed Jiraiya to travel the world searching for this disciple. I thought the person Jiraiya was looking for was you, Minato. Do you believe that person is Kagami? What should I do? Sensei. Hiruzen looked at the portraits of the previous Hokage hanging in the office. Chapter 38, One Tribe and Village. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Because Wind Country was playing defense, Orochimaru couldn't break through, and had to fall back to his own lines. Meanwhile, on the western front, Inoki and the Third Raikage, were going at it in the Imperial City. The fighting there was stalled for now, so, Minato, who was about to head back to the west, got a short break while they figured out where to send him next. Around the same time, Uchiha Kagami's reputation started to blow up. Iwagakure's PR department helped, but the Uchiha clan was really pushing it. What's the Konoha Guard? Protecting Konoha, keeping the peace, and busting criminals. Basically, city management, the cops, and a defense force rolled into one. Under Divine Fire's orders, all the Uchiha and his faction were working overtime to spread the word about Kagami. Here's how it was going down. Sweet shop, Mr. Tenshin, leading the patrol today, huh? Uchiha Tenshin, you hear about Uchiha Kagami from our clan? He beat the Four Tails and made the Tsuchikage tuck tail. Flower shop owner, hey Shaoran, check out these new chrysanthemums. Uchiha Owlman, if Kagami had finished off Inoki, we'd be sending these to Iwagakure as a memorial. Ramen shop, for bowls, right? Uchiha, yep, the one Kagami smoked was the Four Tails. Heard they got a new Jinchuuriki now. Bottom line, the West's been quiet lately thanks to Uchiha Kagami going beast mode. One sunny afternoon, Uchiha Mikoto came for a visit, with her kid in tow. Shursui, take Itachi outside to play. In the yard, Uchiha Kagami was chilling in a recliner, studying Orochimaru's chakra trickery. Sorry, Grandma's laid up, and so am I, so I can't offer you any tea, Mikoto. Mikoto glanced at the quiet kid Shursui was holding, then turned and chuckled. Come on, Kami, be nice. I'm the one barging in here. Uchiha Kagami stared at her and said flatly, what do you want? That he was holding a grudge against Fugaku and Itachi, and if Mikoto wasn't Sasuke's mom, he wouldn't have even let her in. Since you need to rest, Kami, I'll just get right to it. Mikoto looked awkward, but kept going. I'm sure you've heard the rumors in the village lately. Fugaku sent word back, hoping you and Elder Divine Fire could keep the clan in check. In check? Uchiha Kagami put down his notes and turned his head slightly to look at Mikoto. Before marrying Fugaku, Mikoto was an Uchiha Jonin, with 3 tomo, an elite of the elite, but, his gaze made her flinch and look away. You know why Fugaku said that, right? Taking a deep breath, Mikoto felt like she was talking to a respected elder, not a junior. There's a divide between the Uchiha and the Konoha higher-ups. Fugaku's been trying to bridge that gap, and things have finally started to look up in recent years. The third Hokage sent Jiraiya to train you, didn't he? Isn't that a sign the village wants to reconcile? Fugaku and the Hokage are working towards this. Shouldn't you, as someone who benefits from this, not be pushing the villagers away? You're an Uchiha and a Konoha ninja. Don't let the narrow-minded views of the clan hold you back. This village is bigger than the Uchiha clan, and it can crush us. Don't you get it? Mikoto blurted it all out, afraid she'd lose her nerve if she stopped. Uchiha Kagami's gaze was calm, like a deep, cold pond, not stagnant water. Who are you speaking as right now? As the head of the Uchiha clan and captain of the Konoha Guard, of course. I'm speaking on behalf of the Hokage, the villagers, and even the Uchiha clan. Uchiha Kagami chuckled to himself. I have something to say too. The only reason Fugaku is still the clan head is that I'm letting him borrow the title for now. You don't speak for the Uchiha. And I don't give a damn what the villagers or the Hokage think. Uchiha Kagami stood up a little, like a dragon drooling over her, and a freezing aura wrapped around Mikoto. You should be grateful you're an Uchiha. Or I would have killed you. Uchiha Kagami's tone wasn't loud, but the intent was real. Mikoto shivered like she'd been hit by a blast of Arctic air. His words were like sharp knives stabbing her, her body shaking like a leaf in the wind, fragile and helpless. Uchiha Kagami turned and picked up his notebook again. The terrifying aura receded like a wave, and no one but the shaken Mikoto noticed anything had happened. You're free to be a coward who begs for scraps. But from now on, don't let me hear you say anything like that again. This is the only kindness you'll get from me. If things got too hairy, he'd just find Indra's reincarnation. Uchiha Kagami wasn't about to let a weakling like Fugaku hold on to power. If Fugaku stood strong with the Hokage, Kagami would respect him. Even if he was a dog, at least the Uchiha would survive. Instead, he let the clan pressure him into a rebellion, and got caught before it even started. The power of fatherly love. What a joke. Why should thousands of Uchiha risk their lives to save your family? Big brother. Itachi's crying. Shisui ran in, holding the swaddled Itachi. Uchiha Kagami glanced at the pale Mikoto and said, "Mrs. Mikoto, take your son and go." "I understand. Goodbye, Kagami." Shisui noticed something was off with Mikoto, and after they left, he leaned in and asked. "Big brother, did you and Aunt Mikoto have a fight?" Russell star. Uchiha Kagami flipped a few pages and said calmly, "Shisui, what do you think about the relationship between the Uchiha clan and the village leaders? Kids in the ninja world grow up fast, and Shisui was a genius, so he must have his own take on it." In Uchiha Kagami's view, Shisui of the original timeline was a disappointment compared to Uchiha Itachi. At least they made a choice, right or wrong, but Shisui. Danzo stole his Mangekyo, but he was too scared to fight back for fear of a clash between the village and the Uchiha. Afraid to make a move, he just gave his eyes to Itachi and killed himself. He never realized the third Hokage and the higher-ups never wanted to fix things with the Uchiha. They just wanted to get rid of them. It wasn't about the Uchiha wanting to rebel, or some complicated problem they couldn't control. It was simple. It came from the second Hokage and Konoha higher-ups hating on the Uchiha. Setting up the Konoha guard was to make the Uchiha outsiders to the Konoha villagers. Maybe the second Hokage tried to accept the Uchiha by taking one as a subordinate. Uchiha Kagami didn't hate Senju Tobirama, since his younger brothers were brutally killed by the Uchiha. Of course, he wasn't ashamed either, because the Senju also killed plenty of Uchiha kids. There's no right or wrong, just where you stand. The Uchiha chose Kagami, so Kagami would stand by the clan. Big brother, I. Chapter 39, Three-Man Team, Maruboshi Kosuke. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Little Shisui grinned, all innocence. Dunno. All I know is, whatever Big Brother decides, I'm in his corner. Still can't make up his mind, huh? Heh, thinking's too much work. Grandma says I just gotta listen to Big Brother for everything. Keep practicing your treading water. If you're not walking proficiently in 3 days, no going out. Shisui, looking utterly defeated, glanced back with every step as he trudged toward the pool. I thought to myself, Itachi's so cute, I wanna hang out with him. Hokage's office, Sarutobi Hiruzen, pipe in hand, faced Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina. He glanced at the report, then back at them. So, you're saying you want to go on a mission outside the village with Minato? Minato looked sheepish, scratching the back of his head. Kushina, puffing out her chest, struggled to contain herself. Why not? What's the big deal? I'm telling you, old man, I've got the Nine Tails totally under control now. Keep your voice down, Kushina. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned, then offered a wry smile. How about this? I'll let you roam freely inside the village. Nope. He shot a look at Minato for backup. Normally, Minato wouldn't defy the Hokage's orders, but, an angry Kushina was a whole different beast. Pretending not to get the Hokage's hint, Minato puffed out his chest and declared, Hokage, I've been working hard on my sealing techniques. I can guarantee Kushina's safety. Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed, a long, drawn-out sound. He looked at them both seriously. Have you considered that Kushina is the village's last line of defense? Her very existence is what keeps other villages from attacking Konoha outright. We can choose not to use the Nine-Tails power, but the village can't be without the Nine-Tails. Silence hung in the air for a moment, then Kushina had a brainwave. Wait a minute. The other villages are obviously scared of you, old man. That's why they don't invade Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen almost choked back a laugh. Ahem, you do have a point, but... No buts. You're getting old, Gramps. Just stay here. I'm going on a mission. Gotta make a name for myself as a total badass. I'm gonna be the village's first female Hokage, few, Sarutobi Hiruzen exhaled a cloud of smoke, gazing intently at Kushina. He recalled the girl who just arrived in Konoha, boldly declaring her dream in class. His hope was that everyone in the village would strive towards the goal of becoming Hokage, even if Uchiha Kagami were to manipulate people to gain popularity in his quest to become Hokage, he would accept it. However, his attitude towards the villagers clearly showed his contempt for most people except the Uchiha. We are the ones discriminating against Uchiha. How can Uchiha discriminate against us? Sarutobi Hiruzen's handling of Uchiha issues was actually somewhat similar to Fugaku's. They leaned toward whichever side was gaining momentum. In the original timeline, when Minato came to power and relations with the Uchiha improved, he was pleased. After the fourth Hokage's death, when Danzo secretly attacked the Uchiha, he simply went with the flow. Lately, Sarutobi Hiruzen had been wrestling with a specific question. What if Uchiha Kagami grew up wanting not just the Hokage position, but also to elevate the Uchiha clan above Konoha? He was already proving difficult to manage, and Sarutobi Hiruzen was running out of ideas. When he truly came into his own, who could control him? Perhaps, he looked at the two before him. I hope you two can form a bond with Kagami. Sarutobi Hiruzen made a decision that Shimura Danzo and others would never agree to had they been present. Taking a deep breath, he announced, once Kagami recovers from his injury, the three of you will form a team to handle emergencies on various battlefields. I'll also arrange for an old friend to join you. That's my final word. This was the ultimate test for Kushina. For Kagami, I really hope you won't let me down. Awesome. Alright, old man. Deal. Kushina grabbed Minato's arm, pulling him along. Let's go. Gotta make sure Kagami-chan gets better quick and doesn't do anything weird. Gotta extend his vacation. Hokage-sama, we'll be going now. Minato offered an apologetic smile and was dragged away like a rag doll. Night fell. Sarutobi Hiruzen finished his work and headed to the secluded Konoha forest. He sat by a mountain spring, listening to the water babbling, and waited patiently. Soon, a tall, slender ninja with a nondescript appearance emerged from the forest and knelt. Third Hokage, sir. Sarutobi Hiruzen gazed at the man with a hint of regret, then spoke after a long silence. I have a mission for you, one I believe only you can handle. No matter how dangerous, I'll do it. Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed softly. Don't be so reckless with your life, Kosuke. Namikaze Minato, Uzumaki Kushina, Uchiha Kagami. I've promised them they'll be a three-man team. Minato and Kagami are Jiraiya's students, and Kushina is the Ninetales Jinchuuriki. The Ninetales Jinchuuriki's identity was usually a closely guarded secret in Konoha, but the third Hokage revealed it to this man as casually as if discussing the weather. Maruboshi Kosuke, a man acknowledged by both the second and third Hokages, possessed a strong will of fire, willing to sacrifice everything for Konoha. In his youth, he made some mistakes during a mission and gave rash orders, which resulted in the death of two of his comrades. For this reason, he took an oath before the second Hokage, Senju Tobirama, to remain a genin forever. Despite his skill far surpassing that of the average jonin, he remained an unknown genin. I want you to join this team and guide them, especially the kid named Uchiha Kagami. Kosuke listened intently. After a pause, Sarutobi Hiruzen continued, he must be Kagami-senpai's grandson, correct? I've been hearing rumors about him lately. He's an exceptional child. Yes, he truly is remarkable. Sarutobi Hiruzen gazed at the lights of Konoha from afar. Kosuke, there's a disconnect between that boy and the village. I need you to act as a bridge, to connect him to Konoha. If he can be like Kagami-senpai, after I die, I can face the first and second Hokages with a clear conscience. I'll do my best, Sandai-sama. Chapter 40, Jiraiya vs. Eight-Tailed Jinchuuriki and Abbey. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Konoha's northern front was under the command of Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin. The situation was tense, requiring him to remain within the land of fire, establishing a solid defense. His choice of location wasn't arbitrary. This area was strategically close to the land of hot springs, a well-known vacation spot. Jiraiya wouldn't slack off on his duties, but the war wouldn't last forever. Eventually, his body and mind would need some serious RR. Inside his tent, he meticulously studied the border garrisons, occasionally glancing at the land of hot springs on the map. Please, let this war end quickly. I just want to travel and collect folk songs in peace. Suddenly, a ninja burst into the command tent without announcing himself. Jiraiya-sama. Sensory ninjas have detected an immense chakra signature on the front lines. It's beyond anything a normal ninja could possess. It could very well be a tailed beast Jinchuuriki. Jiraiya's brow furrowed. Typically, only ninjas like Rashi or Han, who regularly weaponized their tailed beast powers, were known. Villages kept intel on other villages Jinchuuriki close to the vest, especially Cloud Village. For years, there hadn't been any news about them finding a new host. Reports indicated their tailed beasts were sealed away using the Six Paths tools. Is it the Two Tails or the Eight Tails? Did the hidden cloud finally find a suitable vessel? That location, it could also be someone from the Stone Village. I'll go take a look. Having witnessed the raw power of the Four Tails and Five Tails firsthand, Jiraiya wasn't about to be reckless. Inform the village. I'm heading out. Gathering his ninja tools and scrolls, Jiraiya immediately set off for the border. He arrived to find utter chaos. The Konoha ninjas stationed there had suffered heavy casualties. Whoosh! Before Jiraiya could even assess the situation, a kunai hurtled towards his face. Clang, star. Jiraiya deflected the kunai with a flick of his arm, his eyes narrowing as he scanned the area. A group of figures emerged from the shadows of the trees. Their leader, hooded and sporting a black eye patch over his left eye, wore a stern expression. Jiraiya, long time no see. Jiraiya's face hardened. He recognized the speaker. Dodai, is Cloud Village breaking the peace treaty? A close aid to the Raikage, a dangerous ninja wielding lava release. Within Konoha, his status was nearly identical to Jiraiya's. His presence was a clear declaration of war. Didn't Konoha and the Stone Village just form an alliance? You guys didn't show them any mercy when you crushed the Stone Village. Tutai, cut the small talk. A muscular young man with dark skin and light yellow hair shouted, we heard your Uchiha clan from Konoha are good against the Four Tails. Hand over a few Sharingan-wielding clan members, preferably that Uchiha Kagami guy, and we'll leave. Jiraiya stepped back, done with the conversation. He would never tolerate anyone who coveted his village. Besides, they were demanding one of his disciples. Do you really think I, the Toad Sage, am a pushover? Hand seals, Bordog Bird Monkey Ram Star. Tutai sensed danger and yelled, everyone, scatter. Snap, star. Ninja art, summoning technique. Stage suppressing technique, boom. Star. A deafening roar shook the earth as a colossal monster descended from the sky like a mountain. A gruff voice echoed, hey, Jiraiya, you idiot. You know this is my snack time. The creature had a giant pipe in its mouth, bandages around its waist, and a short sword stuck in its body. It was none other than Gamabunta, the chief of Mount Mayaboku's 3 great toads. I'll buy you a drink later. We've got a tough customer. Jiraiya's eyes remained fixed on one figure. Their hair was half white, half green, with a purple mark on the right side of their face. That ominous chakra. Jiraiya reached a swift conclusion. Bunta, get the oil. Got it. The cloud ninjas scattered into the woods. What a huge toad. Super huge. Gigantic. A dark-skinned kid in sunglasses exclaimed in a strange accent. Focus. AI eyed the giant toad with anticipation. Summoning Sansho. Let's make a name for ourselves by taking down this Konoha Sannin. Okay. Abby gonna be famous. Be careful and protect yourselves. He's about to use a large-scale ninjutsu. Dodai, an exceptional sensory ninja, detected a massive buildup of chakra from the giant toad and Jiraiya. He quickly warned his comrades, still green, missed an opportunity. A few more words might have allowed for a sneak attack, being given the title of AI at such a young age made him reckless. Rumble, Gamabunta's cheeks puffed out as he spewed a torrent of oil. Simultaneously, Jiraiya unleashed fire style. Combination ninjutsu, fire style, toad oil flame bomb. Blazing flames erupted, threatening to consume everything in their path. The scorching flames possessed incredible heat and destructive power, fueled by the oil. The force of the impact was devastating, smashing and incinerating the tall trees in an instant. Sensing the danger, AI grabbed B and retreated rapidly, trying to escape the inferno. With that particular individual around, he wasn't worried about his partner's safety. Lava release, Humo wall. Dodai converted his chakra into rubber and spat it out to form a resilient protective barrier, attempting to shield everyone. However, the toad oil flame bomb not only had the burning properties of flames but also a tremendous impact force, nearly shattering the protective film on contact. Mr. Tutai, allow me. An apathetic voice spoke. Red chakra enveloped the body of the cloud ninja with the yin-yang hairstyle. A chilling aura surged as a giant red chakra claw, with a mere wave, created a violent hurricane. The raging fire reversed course, and Gamabunta leaped into the air. Mid-air, Jiraiya examined the ninja encased in the tailed beast cloak, counting the number of tails. A bead of cold sweat trickled down his face. It's the 8 tails Jinchuuriki. Trouble. Bang, Jiraiya summoned a small lavender toad with tiny wings. He quickly retrieved a pen and paper, scribbled a coded message and stuffed it into the toad's mouth. Please, take this information to headquarters. The purple toad flapped its wings and flew off. Gamabunta landed with a thud. A tailed beast. Gamabunta grumbled, placing his hand on the hilt of his sword. Forget the 8 tails, even if it's the 9 tails, I, Boss Toad, ain't afraid. Brooby, I'll leave that big guy to you. We'll handle Jiraiya. AI had rescued B, but was at a loss of how to deal with the giant toad. If it was a human, they would dare attack, even if the Hokage was there, using a thunder and hot knife. Understood. As a famous ninja, Jiraiya's fighting style was well known. The combined ninjutsu he performed with his summoned creatures were too dangerous, so they needed to separate them. Mr. Tutai, please evacuate. This is not a battle you can participate in. Bulubi's voice was cold and distant, a departure from his true personality. Ever since he became a Jinchuuriki, he'd noticed a shift in how people treated him. The stress was taking its toll, making him wary of getting too close to anyone.